Hey everybody, what is up? What is up? Sorry about that reboot. Had some technical issues. I had to get situated. Somebody give me a thumbs up on the audio and the visual, please. Give me a 5x5 or whatever you want to throw in there. Man. Cool. All right. Let me say hi to everybody. G513 in the hizzy. Yeah, sorry about that reboot, guys. I had a couple of little technical stuff going on. When you schedule a live stream, I was going to schedule it for a little later, but I decided to go ahead and do it now because I'm not really sure what's going to be going on here in a little while. But I just want to make sure I get this out. So that's why it happened. Sorry about that. The views on it will probably be low because sometimes when you do that, the notifications don't go out the correct way, and when they do, sometimes people think it's for the one that was before it, and yeah. So I probably just screwed all the views on this video, but it is what it is. I don't care about the actual number of views. I just want people to hear what I got to say, and that's that's kind of where I'm at. So anyway, hey, Knowledge 2020, Sunshine. Already said hi to G513. Christine, good to see you. Rebel, what's up? Bobby, what's happening? Catherine. Old as dirt, man. I feel you. My birthday's next week, and yeah, I'm feeling you. Michelle, Garrison, Mary, good to see you guys. Seaglass, David, Deb from above, awesome name. Knowledge 2020. Jill, my friend, good to see you in here. Good to see you. Hope you're surviving okay down there in Texas. It's been a bad time about it, hasn't it? Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine some of the stuff. That stuff you see up here in Indiana, not very often. So to see it in Texas is kind of wow. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and jump into it, guys. Bob, what's up, buddy? Chris, Trisha, Occam's Razor, good to see you. No Malarkey, I like that name too. Chris, what's happening? Pascaline, what's going on? Grandma JJ, hey, Ryan. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm just gonna start here with the Schumann, and we'll go from there. I'll try to get right into what the thumbnail was. You'll be surprised here. Hold on, what is that? Why is that even there? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, guys. I had some really crazy stuff happening here. Had to go through and had to reboot up all my stuff too. Something happened. I don't know what happened on my computer or whatever. 5150's in here. All right, cool. What's happening? I think I seen Axe too. Hey Axe, good to see you, brother. I seen you in the other one too. I said hi to everybody, then all of a sudden my computer did what it did, and I was like, oh my gosh. But okay, so the Schumann resonance. Obviously, guys, this is a very intense spike. It is what it is. At this point, some of this stuff we become kind of desensitized to, and I have to fight against that sometimes because regardless if we see this all the time, does not make it normal. It just means that things are changing. This could be a new norm, but it ain't what we would consider, quiet conditions when we're talking about this. So this definitely is something that is a decent sized spike. Plus you got stuff going on here too. But check this one out too. Remember a few weeks back we had that solid line show up, but it was at the 20 hertz level. Now it's completely solid right here at the 24, or close to the 24. So I don't know what's going on that. I don't know. I really don't know. Bit blurry, Sunshine. Is anybody else having blurry video? Let me know if you are. I can't really do much about that. Sometimes when the stream goes to low frames, there's something that you can click in OBS, and instead of me being chopped up and lagging real bad, it'll drop the resolution down till the bitrate comes back up. Okay, cool. So Sunshine, if you're having still issues, you may back out of your own browser and come back in. Sometimes that helps. But anyway, as far as your Schumann, guys, we're just going to call it what it is. Things are happening. It's just not going to be any different from now on, I don't think. The stuff that's really going to draw our eyes when it's quiet. And unfortunately, that's what's happening. So, bringing in your ears, if you got a headache, that kind of thing, this could be the reason. But always go to your doctor if you think something really bad is wrong before you go blaming everything on this, okay? Take this to your doctor. They will now listen to you. Most of them will. They're understanding that this does affect our health. And that's, more and more coming around to that. And it's going to continue that way because it just takes a few of us to start talking about it, and it will spread. And eventually it will make it to where it needs to make it. And that's why whenever we talk about anything, no matter how much we think it's just touching just a couple people, well, that couple people will compounding and just completely start to grow. Our leaders do that with negativity and narrative. So the only way we can kind of combat that is to go at it with truth and positivity. So they both will grow the same way. So it's up to us to sow that seed, and that's what we're doing. So anyway, space weather prediction. Obviously, guys, here. That's they're saying geomagnetic storm. G1 is what they're saying. It should happen here within the next 3 or 4 hours. If you look down here, I'll show you guys this real quick. There was a couple little flares from an active area that came around the sun, and we'll talk about that too when we get there. But then we don't have to worry about any kind of radiation storm right now. But you can see the geomagnetic activity, how it spiked up, and it's staying right at a 4. At any time, that could go over that. Now, you got to keep in mind, pretend this, this isn't going to show a 5 on the KP unless it gets to 5. So if all 4 of these are 4.99, it's going to look as though it was like not a storm, but it really could have really close to one. My point there is, even if it gets to G1 storm level, it doesn't necessarily mean it's some bad stuff. Okay? Typically it's not. And I've said that to everybody all the time. When we're talking about really bad stuff geomagnetically, you're talking G3 and above. Okay? And to where you start seeing the big major stuff. Now stuff can happen down here, and I say that just to be, the balance and the weight there of other people taking such a thing that we experience over and over and over again like a G1 storm, and they blow it up like we've never seen them before. And it's ridiculous to me. And it comes from people that know better, that know that this is whatever it is. And it's disheartening because when we do get the bigger ones, the people that don't really understand what we're talking about here, and if we come out and make this a big deal about a G1 storm, when we get to a G3, they're just going to ignore it because nothing happened during the G1. You see what I'm getting at? It's like crying wolf. And it's unfortunate there are some people out there that are still doing that. Now, if you're just starting your channel and you're just starting to learn, I get it. Okay? Because I had to go through those growing pains too. But when somebody points it out to you that, hey, this is something, because, well, we'll just do this just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Geomagnetic storm levels. Where I got them right here somewhere. There they are. G1 storms. How often you guys think they happen? 1,700 times in an 11-year cycle. If that doesn't make people just stop for a second and really put this in perspective of what we're talking about here, this happens all the time. So when somebody's trying to tell you that this is something they've never seen before, well, you might want to go look and talk to somebody that has seen it before. Because this is what we're doing here. We're being truthful. This isn't something we're going to be, exploding out here just trying to get some clicks and views and saying that this is the most, I've never seen this, I've looked at this 5,000 times. This tool is no longer doing what it's supposed to do because I can't predict this and that by this tool. It's not accurate anymore, any of that kind of stuff. Well, let's take this in consideration. We're all still here. Every one of us. So, please. and yeah. So anyway, I just want to be that other side of the level there because it needs to be there. It really, it makes what we're all doing a little bit more difficult. because we're having to combat that at the same time as all the other skeptics and stuff that come through, which is fine. But so anyway, let's the geomagnetic storm level. Yes, we're probably going to get to a G1. And what's significant about this is newsworthy to talk about, okay? Because we haven't been seeing very many of these because we're in solar minimum. And we're coming out of that now. We're going to start seeing, you're going to find that we're going to stop talking about the G1 storms as soon as we start spiking back up and staying there consistent. It's going to be very much like this. You know, we look at this every day, and yes, that's a big spike. But, you know, you go back and look at it 5 or 6 years ago, if you've seen this, you'd have probably been freaking out a little bit. Now it's just like every day. And that's kind of what I'm saying. So when it does get serious, we need to be able to be serious about it and have people take us serious when we're talking about it. Okay, that's my whole point. Now the first look at the sun. Here's the coronal hole. Okay, it's rotating away from Earth facing. We've had a couple of solar storms, filaments erupt off. And that's kind of what I'm saying. You know, we got those are the eruptions I'm talking about. That's why I didn't call them CMEs, because they're not technically CMEs if it's a filament eruption. So we had a couple of filament eruptions around this coronal hole. It was significant, you know, decent sized ones. And I'll show them to you here in just a few minutes. But also, I think I mentioned this. This is the ACE data. We're not going to use this anymore. Okay, and let me show you why. Because we have this. All right, this right here, ACE data, is old technology now. Just so you know. It doesn't mean that we can't use the data to kind of look at it for just a split second or whatever to get it kind of a ballpark, but it's no longer that accurate anymore. Some of the stuff that they're using, the modeling's been updated, and it is way more accurate. And what I'm going to show you here on Discover, it's actually easier to look at. It's the same data. It's just it's plotted in a more specific way. Now, what happens here is on the Discover one, it says, right now, it says, what's it say there? It's using Discover, WSA, and Enlil. Okay, that's the data it's getting to use this right here, right, to get this data to us. Every once in a while, you'll come over here and it'll say ACE. ACE data is now being used as a backup when this isn't doing what it's supposed to. So that's kind of what I'd say there. And this is why. Plus, it gives us exact number when we just scroll across. You see that? If I was to show you guys this one, we don't get that. We're over here kind of like pointing and looking, trying to figure out this, that, and the other. This is so much easier to look at. So, to talk about what's going on here, you can definitely see with the solar wind speed, the yellow, how we had a spike, kind of come back down, then we spike back up. And it looks like it's leveling off right now, if not even kind of dipping down. What's got me kind of thinking that we may, this may block us from getting to a G1 storm. I'm not saying that we're not, because I think that there's a good possibility that we will. But if this BZ stays up this direction, remember we're looking for -6 and bigger. Anytime this BZ on this graph gets to -6 or larger, you'll see it turn this blue color. What that means is it means that the angle that the solar wind is hitting us is good for the stuff to come into our system to make it through our shields easier. Okay, that's why this is there. So it makes it easy to kind of tell that just by doing that. Now, make no mistake, just because this BZ might not be -6 or bigger does not guarantee that we can't get the storm level even when it's got the wrong angle. Okay? It has to, it can still make it through depending on how strong it is. So, that's what I would say to that. Now, the density, guys, 4 is normal. We're not seeing anything below 4. 4 or below. I mean, we're getting all the material right now that we're getting is 4 and above. The wind speed it got over 500 right here. Okay, so 3 to 500 is normal. Anything above that's what we look for, and it's pushing that. So with the density kind of high and a wind speed coming close to being a little bit elevated, is why we're seeing this. Okay, let me update that real quick. See if it. I'm going to be interested to see that next bar there. That next bar, it would be on the 20th from the next 3 hours UTC. Now here's NOAA's predictions. Right here. So they're saying between 3 and 6 UTC time, here in the next 6 hours, we should get to a G1 storm. And they said there's a high likelihood of it. Sometimes they'll say there's a slight chance or 30% chance, but they're saying there was a high likelihood that we will get to storm level. So, you know, that's what I'm going off of right now. But again, if we do get to G1, you know, yes, we need to talk about it because it's newsworthy. But we don't need to blow it out of proportion to make it something that's not. And that's, you know. But anyway, here's another way to look at the KP's down here too. You can look at the magnometers here, electron flux. We can go through all that stuff, but we're not going to tonight. We need to be talking about this. This coronal hole was big. Okay, this coronal hole, actually, the southern coronal hole and this one grew together at one point. And this is a pretty deep hole, which means, you know, there's really not a whole lot of anything blocking all this stuff from coming out. And that's what's happening right now. So, now if we go over here, obviously, and this is another thing I want to talk about. This thing has been doing stuff kind of a little crazy. And I will say that this is, you know, when we weren't having any kind of geomagnetism, I really wouldn't expect to see a whole lot going on back here. Okay, because we haven't before. Well, we have, but not like I was seeing the past week or so. Stuff was happening back here almost like what it is now, even when we weren't getting hit from the front. What you're looking at here is you're looking at solar wind speed. That's all this is showing you. The sun's off to the left, and it's, you know, stuff should travel from left to right here. To explain the colors, you got to look at your graph up here. Remember what solar wind is, guys, okay? It's charged particles. It has a positive and a negative charge, right? So when the phi angle, which is the solar wind, this one here, when it's negative and positive, that's why it matters. All right? But when you're looking at this one, see how this says negative 600, this says 600? That's giving you direction. You know how? Because it's showing you negative positive. We know that it's a charged particle and it travels to us on a magnetic line. So if it's going in a negative fashion, 600, which is what these colors are, it's blowing the other direction. It's going the opposite direction as this, as the reds. So you can see how things go from left to right. So we should be seeing mostly reds here. So when we see the blues and the greens and stuff, a little bit of it's normal. But when you see the really dark colors, especially when they get right next to the red, it's kind of odd to see all that. Especially in the places that we do. And in the areas that we have been seeing them, it's kind of odd. And when they get real close to each other, I've explained that before too. It's kind of like, you know, when you look at a weather radar here on our planet, they got the wind velocity graphs, right? And when the green and the blue, the blue and the or the green and the red get next to each other on the velocity, when they're looking at a thunderstorm, that is a signature of a tornado. It means it's spinning. So it means the exact same thing here. It's showing you that things are like this. Okay? So that's what it's showing you. Now, this is just density. So I'll push play on this one and we'll watch it and you're going to see. Okay? I mean, stuff is just moving around back here in a really strange way. Um, and look, guys, it looks like our bow shock isn't there, doesn't it? And I've explained this before, too. The bow shock is always there, okay? It's just the point where the solar wind meets the electromagnetic field of Earth. That's all that it is. It's always there. It doesn't go away. All this is showing you is density, so it means the density is the same on one side of the bow shock as what it is on the other. That's all that this graph can show you. It doesn't know bow shock. It knows density. That's it. So, hey Keith, what's up? Hope you guys are feeling well, you and Queen Brat. Now, pressure. This is, again, this is a lot of pressure around our planet, guys. And these little bursts and stuff we're seeing like this is why this is kind of strange. It's just really odd. That is a lot of pressure. Okay, and it's sticking around. It's not going away. Now, again, you know, what can this do? Well, it can give us an uptick in earthquakes. We're going to see increased aurora. All those things that we talk about, right? But, yeah, so we're definitely getting some weather here. Here are those holes again. Okay, but we'll look at the magnetopause down here. Now, this is the older model. Sun's off to the right. So, you're going to see similar stuff. It's just being represented in a different visual. You can see our bow shock getting kind of contorted here when we get hit. And that's what we should see when we get hit from the front, okay? We know we're getting hit from the front, and this is why we're seeing this. Now, all the stuff that's messing up in the back sometimes isn't necessarily, especially when we don't get hit from the front, you know, it isn't really normal to see all that. Here's the Australian model. Here's your density. Here's your speed. Here's your your BZ. Remember, -6 is what we look for. We'll play that again. Well, let's go back to the 19th. You'll see it. It's going to start jumping around pretty good here. It'll probably get real close to the satellite line. This is the satellite line here. Okay? And this is representing the bow shock. See how it's getting compressed? And we're pushing back. That's why you get compression and expansion. So you're seeing how we're getting really, really crunched on a little bit here. So you can see how that can help cause earthquakes, you know. But here's the geomagnetic, geoelectric field. What this is showing you is space weather's effect on our electrical grids. Okay? So if we're looking at this, you can see, you know, around the bigger cities, you're going to see a little bit more intensification because simply there's more electrical components. It's more populated. Simple as that. You can see this area down here. They haven't got this model completed yet. That's why you're seeing no data for here. But this one is. This is a one-dimensional model, and this is supposed to be a three-dimensional when they get it finished. Okay? So I'm just starting to show you both of them because at least we got this part to look at, you know, three-dimensionally. But this is an uptick in activity. Nothing extreme, but it is an uptick. Aurora. North Pole on the left, South Pole on the right. Again, you're going to see that it's going to be an intensification. So if I take this and just roll it, see, look here. They were getting some good auroras over in Russia. And right now it looks as though things are dying down, but we may get another little shot here. Hey MJ, what's up? And again, this is the South Pole. They're both going to react essentially at the same time. Okay? Obviously, I don't think I really need to say that. Most of you guys probably understand that. Okay. Here is seeds. Now, the LASCO data finally updated here on seeds. Now, I was showing you guys LASCO data over on ISWA. Okay? The data was there. It just wasn't updated on this site. And I heard people saying that the data was missing. It wasn't missing. It just wasn't updated on this site. Okay? So, I'll just leave it at that. But we'll go to the 17th. Not a whole lot going on there. That's when we did have a CME blow our direction. We'll take a look at this stuff here in a second. This is the 18th. but if you look at the 19th here, guys, we got a bigger one happening right now. I'm not sure what direction that one's going yet, but this is happening right now. Pause it right there. So the data cuts off at about 1600. I don't know if this is going to the right, if it's going towards our back, or if it's going toward, towards us. I don't know yet. We need more data to be able to tell you that. So what I'll do is I'll go over here to stereo A and see if we got anything showing us here. And what I'm seeing is, I'm seeing a little bright spot here. Right on the end. Okay? This is our side view. Okay? Satellites here, Earth would be over here. Satellite here, Earth over here. So this bigger CME that's happening right now could actually be coming our direction. The CME tracker has not updated to this point yet, so I don't know yet. But what I will say, okay, this is the 20th. We don't have any data for it yet, obviously. It's always like that, so there is a lag time here. So if we go over here to SDO and look from our point of view, let's go to the 18th to the 20th. We'll look at, I don't know, let's look at the 171 angstrom. And we'll take a look at it, see what happens. Here's that active area up here, okay? This is very active, and I want to talk about this for a minute too. These two now have been named as sunspots. Okay, they have numbers and stuff now. But regardless, they were active areas anyway. So, to officially give it a number is just giving it a number. It's that simple. It looks like this one over here, this sunspot over here on the left, is very active. Look what it's doing. It's still erupting. So we're going to have to watch this as it rotates our direction. So the closer it comes, like dead on to us. This is from our point of view, by the way. This is on SDO, which is a satellite that sits right out in front of the Earth. And it's always watching the sun. So if I try to look and see if I can't see that CME that blew, I'm not seeing a whole lot. Maybe up here, this one might have. But we can look at it at the 304 real quick and see what we got there. Now this is the one that'll show us filaments. And I'm not really seeing a whole lot. Let me pause it. Okay, there's that CME. Okay, this is why we look. Watch. It's not really a CME. Again, it's a filament release. There's a bunch of filaments on the sun right now, I have to say. You guys see this dark area right here? I'm going to push play on this, and I'm going to come back to this part of the sun. And you're going to watch this shadowed area lift off and explode off. It's right in here. See that? That filament blew off. That's what we're seeing on that. Well, it looked like that was going to our right, so it actually could be coming at us, or it could be going north of us. We're just gonna have to wait on more data to come in. Okay, but you can see it right there. It just flicked off, and it is definitely. I know it's kind of probably hard to see here because the sun's the background, but that you can see it. Let me see if I can't zoom in some more. Watch it right in here. See that? And it happens real fast. So just kind of keep that in mind, guys. Again, wait on data to come in like we have to. We don't have any choice, I don't know what else to say there, but this active area here is still very active. We got a lot more filaments just hanging around. We got this coronal hole. So we got stuff happening. And at any time we could pop into storm level. Let's go to spaceweather.com. They're actually saying the same thing here. But they're saying the 21st because earlier on today, they were saying on the 21st was when we should have been getting into storm level. Well, something happened between now and then, and look. Hey Taylor, what's up? Hey Anna, what's happening? Tam, what's happening? Jerry's in here. Hey, what's up? So yeah, guys, I mean, stuff came earlier than what they thought. Also, we could be getting grazed by a CME here too. Let me show you that. Here's the CME that blew off on the 16th, 17th. And it reaches, it looks like it could have, if it was going to graze us, it would be grazing us right now. So this could be what we're seeing as far as the uptick in magnetism. But that is what it is, you know. I don't know what else to say there. So, hey 636, good to see you, bud. So yeah, earthquakes, guys. We had an odd one right here. It was odd enough that USGS lit this one up in red. It was a 4.2 in Oklahoma. You know. Hey Arizona, what's happening? Pascaline, what's that? Now, this didn't cause any damage or anything, but this is a rather large one for that part of the country. So for us to see a 4.2 there is not really that normal. It happens from time to time, but it's worth noting because it can point towards other stuff. Now, we're still getting the continued shaking down here from the big ones that were happening here. Remember the 7 that happened here like last week, and then we had a 7 here also. The shaking's still going on around these bigger quakes. Now, it's going to start to slow down, and it is. But, you know, regardless, that's why those are there. Let's take this and put it on all magnitudes. So, yeah. Wow, look here. That's quite a bit of shaking going on right here in Oklahoma, guys. That's, yeah. Now, there are fracking operations here that causes some of this stuff. Almost every day. Hey, John Jupiter, good to see you. This one here, this seems to be a little bit of a hot spot too. Here for the past few months, we've been seeing some shaking right here. This is the New Madrid probably that's happening there, but it, you know, we're getting smaller earthquakes there about every day. So, hey Shelly, what's up? What was the effect? I'm not sure if I follow you, Shelly. Sorry. But yeah, I already showed you guys that. So, yeah. I think, guys, I think the best thing to do here is to just, you know, kind of look at the sun here. And we can, like, dive into this and really get, you know, all up in it. But at the end of the day, what we're going to find is that this coronal hole is what, see how that grew together right there? It became one big hole. Now, we've seen the whole face of the sun do that. So, you know, it's going to blow when it does that. There's no other way around it. I mean, when it does do this, you know, it's just a matter of how powerful it's going to be. We know we're going to get an increase from these when they're this big. Even when they're small, we know we're going to get at least a little bit of a bump. But what causes these things to look, you know, when they're not so powerful and they really hit us hard, or when they're really powerful and they don't really hit us that hard, you know what the main culprit of that is? Of why that's so hard to do and predict? It's this. It's the BZ. It's the angle of which it hits us. Certain angles will actually help fill in the cracks in our magnetic field. Hey Russell, what's up, bud? So the angle is really probably the most important data point to look at. Because if the angle's correct, it doesn't take much to get stuff into our system and to give us some issue. So the angle is very, very important. And we look at the red line, okay? But yeah, so you can see how, you know, and I like this again. I have to say that this is a really nice graph. I'm glad I'm using it now. you can see that anytime it's got this little purple background here, basically that says, hey, yo guys, conditions are right for stuff to come into your system. So, I really, hey Jeremiah, what's up? MJ, what's happening? Optigirl, what's happening? They sent you an email just now. Okay. Yeah, back at you. I'll check it out. Now, so yeah, we got this. This is the phi angle. And the phi angle is, again, the polarity of the solar wind. So when you see it go from the blue area here to the red, that means it went to the other polarity. And when it does it a lot, okay? You can see it jumping around a lot. So whenever it does this, it does jerk on us a little bit. And spaceweather.com did a really good story the other day here, talking about sorry. The perfect conditions for like the perfect storm of a CME, and it would be us getting hit with the CME and then having a bigger one right behind it, because it kind of preps the area. So I say that because if we get jerked on at the exact same time from the phi angle as we're getting hit with solar wind and CMEs, that really could add a lot of issue. And that's why I talk about it. So what we want to keep an eye on is the density, the solar wind speed, and usually the BZ is really what our main focus is. We can look at the other data points, and I'll show them to you guys every time. But those are the key ones that really will show us, hey, if you start seeing these conditions, look out for solar storms. That's pretty much what we see. Hey, Willow, what's up? I think I said hi to Tam Tam already. I know I said hi to you. Hey, Nicole, what's happening? So, yeah, they just did a really good story. You guys can go back. All you got to do is change the date over here. I can't remember what day it was, but it was sometime last week. And go read that story. It's a really good one. They did a good job on it. This is some crazy looking sun halo. There's actually a weird anomaly here that scientists don't even know what causes it. It's a V shape. So you can even see here. Yeah, and I know we can all go a whole bunch of directions with that. I'm not going to go all into that. That's a whole nother show. But they talk about it here. They call it a Moylanen arc. If I mispronounced that, I'm sorry. But it's some special arc that they will tell you they don't know what causes it. They think it's ice crystals and stuff like that, but they still will say, I don't know what's causing it. You're welcome. Nasserine, good to see you. Excuse me. Mouth was getting dry, guys. Sorry. And they did put an official number on these. Okay. This was the one, the 2803 sunspot. That's the one we're going to have to watch. Now, I was doing some research and stuff, and and then I ran into this. This is Apophis. This is the one everybody's talking about, 2029. Well, they caught this I guess back in January. They seen it transient, and they were expecting, and then they knew where to go to look. Okay, so that's it right there. Now, this is the one they said that everybody was coming out saying that it was a possibility this one could be hitting Earth in 2029. But now they're saying that it's not going to. They're saying that it's going to come, I think, 0.11 AU. Right now it's 0.12 AU, I think. Okay, so in 2029 they're saying it's a 0.11 AU. Now what's AU? AU is astronomical unit. Okay, when we're talking about near-Earth objects here, they plot the near-Earth objects LD, lunar distance. Okay, LD is the distance between us and the moon. That's how they measure these. Okay, but this one they're using AU. AU is astronomical unit, which means the distance between us and the sun. And that's 93 million miles. So if it's a 0.11 or a 0.12, that's still a good distance away, guys. Okay? You're talking 10 million miles. That's a good distance away. Now, again, you know, it's going to come, saying it's going to come back around, and you know, their math was off. They say it's not going to hit us now, but who's to say that math's right now? Who knows? You know, so we'll worry about that down the road. We got lots of time to talk about this, but this is you know, this is it. This is the one everybody's been talking about for a long time. So I just thought you guys might want to see that. So yeah. And then you got noctilucent clouds. Notice, guys, that these clouds are starting to dissipate. Reason why is you know, the Earth's starting to tilt back. And what it is noctilucent clouds is water vapor that freezes around meteor dust at our poles, really high in the atmosphere. And it happens in the summertime of each hemisphere. So we'll have a dead time where we don't see any on either pole, and then right around summertime in the northern hemisphere, we'll start seeing them around the North Pole. Okay? So that's kind of where we're at with that. But yeah, so these are starting to dissipate, starting to, you know, before long we won't see any of them. Now remember, these were 2 weeks late, and they, you know, we've seen them too far north. Twice this year. We shouldn't be able to see them in Argentina, and we did. We've seen them twice. And it's only happened a handful of times ever since we've been recording this. Okay, now here's the reported fireballs. We know that 7 isn't that much of a number, right? I hope you guys understand that, correct? Oh, you're welcome, James. Thanks, man. I ain't helping them to promote nothing, bud. But this is what it is, you know. This is what we got. This is what we have to use, and that's all we got, you know. Can't do much about it. But, so, when we look at this number, we don't want to sit here and, you know, just gravitate towards the 7 here, because that's not very many. Anybody that's ever been looking at this for any length of time knows that at any given time, especially when we're going through like a meteor shower, this could jump up to 200. We've seen it do that before. So that's just kind of what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So when somebody's making a big deal when they say that we had 2 or 7 of them that didn't get seen or all this or all that, keep in mind on the near-Earth objects, you know, it's crazy to think that we would be able to see them all. You know what I mean? I just don't think that that's ever possible. So they're going to miss some, and the ones that they're going to miss are probably going to be on the smaller side. And I've been saying that for a while. And again, if we get like a big, huge one that's going to be blasting our planet, do you really think we're going to know about it? I don't think anybody with any kind of logic behind them would say that, yes, they're going to come right out tomorrow and tell us that. No, they're not. I mean, it would be ridiculous to say that. But at some level, I do think that, you know, we got to at least keep it down to a real level to think that there's no way we're going to be able to see the whole sky. It's impossible. But it doesn't negate the fact that, you know, they do miss stuff. And, you know, if we get a big one that's going to hit us, I'm telling you guys, I mean, do you guys really think we're going to know about it? I don't think anybody, even mainstream, would kind of deny any of that. I really don't. Because at that point, it would be a point of, you know, just keeping the peace until something happened. You know, society would go nuts. We know it would. We've seen it with less. We're seeing it now. So, that's kind of what I'm saying. So, when we're looking at these things, yes, we got to have a certain level of skepticism. But we also have to have a certain level of reality. Okay? It's a really hard balance to find. And I'm not saying I'm always right on whichever side I'm on there. I just look at it for how I look at it. I show you guys how to go look at it for yourself. And I let you guys make up your own mind. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm not going to sit here and claim anything, because I simply can't do that. And, you know, I won't do that. I want people to come to the conclusions on their own, because I can be wrong, and I know that. And, you know, the people that say that they can't be wrong, I really question. I really do. Just saying. But yeah, guys, so, you know, near-Earth objects, yes, there were a few down here, but they were really small. If a 3-diameter rock makes it into our atmosphere, you know what that's going to mean? Hey, Wolfie, you in there? Good to see you, bud. You know, if a 3-diameter rock makes it into our atmosphere, what's that going to be? It's not going to be nothing. Most of us wouldn't even see this. You got to keep in mind that the majority of our planet is water anyway. There you are. Awesome. Love it. Love it, love it. So yeah. So yeah, and that's the thing, you know. I want you guys to be able to look at this for yourself, and you're going to see in my chat, you're going to see a whole lot of different, and even just simply on the internet, you're going to see a whole lot of different opinions over here, a whole lot of different theories, a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that, and I don't ever take anybody's voice away over here, and I think that that's definitely, I think that's a good thing for everybody. I might not always agree, but I'm not going to stifle somebody's voice. I don't do that, you know. I'm not into canceling culture at all. Cancel culture, I hate that. You know, we've already had so much of our speech taken away from us, and I'm not going to do that. You know, even though, you know, I could on this channel, I could just start hacking people that are doing that. I'm not doing that to you guys. And I really hope that you guys, you know, are, you know, appreciate the fact that you could come here, put your opinion over here, and know that you're not going to get booted out of here as long as you're respectful. So, yeah. So that is what it is, you know. And again, you know, whatever this thing does, who knows? I just thought you guys would want to see this. We got a lot of time to think about it. You know, 2029, that's what, 8 years from now? So, again, you know, even if this was 100% correct and there, you know, and whatever, even if the math was off just a little bit, it would change this drastically. So we have to keep that in mind. Things aren't always going to be what we think they are. Things aren't always going to be what they tell us they are. I don't think anybody that has any kind of logic behind them would just blindly follow stuff like that without at least looking at it. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give you guys the tools to look at this stuff for yourself. And, you know, that's been the goal of my channel since the beginning. Now, I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but I felt like there for a while, it kind of got lost. I thought, just for a while, I thought I was just coming on giving the news and just walking off. Well, I want to give you guys the ability to go and look at this stuff for yourself. That's all I'm trying to do. So, you know, I really hope that you guys do go look at this stuff for yourself. And, you know, and I hope at some level I'm able to put a positive spin on things to keep people, you know, thinking the correct way as far as, you know, not everything is a doomsday thing. It's just not. And I think it's irresponsible to call everything doomsday. I really do. And, you know, let me show you guys one thing here real quick, okay? And this is probably not a very popular thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Because, you know, just like you guys have opinions, so do I. I'm just going to blatantly show you what's up, okay? And that's what I've been doing since the beginning. But I want you guys to understand that, like when we're looking at these magnetopause models, if we're going to look at these things, and we're going to look at them the right way, right? We got to be skeptical, correct? But we have to be truthful too. That's where it gets lost. So if we're looking at this looks all crazy nutty, right? Looks like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? What is happening? Well, then the next question should be, is this, should it look like this? Has it ever looked like this before? That kind of thing. Well, what's cool about this one, we can go back however many years we want, and we can look. So, let's do that. Let's go back to, let's see how far this will let us go back. Let's go back to 2010. Let's see what it gives us. All right, I want you guys to see this because this is important. I want to see how far it's going to let me go back. I really never went back as far as it'll let me. I can't remember exactly when they put this one up here. Okay, so yes, that's this is 21. What? Oh, that was stupid. I didn't change the year. I changed the stupid month. Sorry, guys. What the heck I was thinking? Okay, we can't go back to 2010. Won't let me. Won't let me go to 2012 either. Well, let's just go back. Let's do it this way. What's that, 2003? That's too far, probably. Let's go 2013. Well, I may have to do this later. I don't know. Let me click on that. Hit apply. Yeah, it's not going to give me anything. I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe it doesn't have data for that far back. I don't know. It should, though. Yeah, I'll work on that later. But I don't know why it's not showing it to me. I'll show it to you guys next video. But I want you guys to understand that sometimes, well, I know for a fact we can look at it here. Let me, well, I'm not going to waste your guys' time on that one tonight. But I just want everybody to understand that sometimes when we think it's crazy, we need to go look and see what we're calling crazy and see if it's normal or if we've ever seen it before. It doesn't mean that it's any less newsworthy or any less anything. It just means that it's happened before. And then if we know that it's happened before, hey, body and soul, good to see you. Good to see you, Candace. Tab's in here. Hey, what's up? 513, Jill, Nemesis, what's happening? Willow's still here. Cool. Axe. But what I'm saying, guys, is that, we got to understand that sometimes that some things that we think are all crazy looking may have, especially when we're looking at the models, it may have always looked like that. Or maybe it didn't. And that's what we're looking at here, guys. You know what I mean? We need to understand that. We need to try to figure that out. And I think if we're honest with ourselves and we do that, we're going to come to some really good conclusions that, hey, look, this stuff isn't normal. Or, hey, look, this did happen and we're all still here. Or, we do know that our magnetic field is 25% weaker. That's a big thing. It definitely is a big thing. So anything that we're going to get with, you know, when we're weak like that, we have to understand it's going to hit us harder. It just will. So, and, you know, like I said, the goal of my channel is to give you guys the tools to go look at the stuff for yourself. So, I am going to start showing you guys how to navigate this stuff again. How to get to these tools. A lot of you guys already know this, but I feel like I got a lot of people that don't. And I want you guys to be able to go look at this stuff. If nothing else, be able to give you a link. And, you know, that's really what I want you guys to be able to do. And, you know, I don't like it when somebody steers a narrative on me. So I don't want to do that to you guys. Even if it was unintentional. You know, now, again, if somebody asks my opinion, I'm going to give it. You know, if you ask my opinion on something, I'm going to tell you, hey, this is what I believe. But you don't have to agree. And nobody ever, I'm never mad at anybody in here. Okay? What happened with your video from... Oh, no, it's okay, Anthony. I had some technical issues. I had some stuff going on in real life, and I couldn't do the video. I scheduled a live stream, and ended up having to cancel it. Sorry, guys. That wasn't anything. I just had stuff going on, so. Oh, the 24th is my birthday. Thanks for asking, Jill. Yep, 24th. 46 is what I'll be. So, yeah. Too stinking old. So, yeah. But we will, hey, James, the intensity and what started in 2015? Just curious. Yours is the 23rd? Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday, John. I'm a kid? No way, Anthony. No way. Russell 66. That's right. You just retired, didn't you? See you, Linda. Sleep good. Just a pup? No way. There you go. Thanks, Tab, for dropping that link in there. But yeah, so anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping in. I will be going over here. I'm going to show you guys Mark's channel real quick. I'm not sure if he's live yet or not. Probably not. It's kind of early for him. You know, I'll tell you what. Let's just go look real quick. He may or may not be on. Is he on? Not yet. But what we're going to do is I'm sure he's got one scheduled. Hey, Wayne's on though, okay? Here's Wayne. Guys, if you guys haven't been over to watch with Wayne, you need to. He really does a great job. So, he shows live streams from around the world. So what I'm going to do is I'll drop his link in here. Go show him some love. Tell him Wages World sent you. Going to show him, you know, go over there and check it out. When Mark comes on, go check him out. I'll show you guys his link here in a minute. But Wayne's an awesome dude. He's a Canuck. Love my Canadians. Axe is in here. So, guys, go check him out. Awesome. He does an awesome job. And then we'll go down here to Mark's real quick. He's got a live scheduled, I think. Pretty sure. Well, no. Don't see it anywhere. But what I'll do here is I will drop a link here to his channel. There you go. There's Mark's channel. Go check him out, guys. Great music. I mean, he's 780 days in a row, guys. Look at this. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. He does good music, does face swaps. What are you doing here?
Show Real Talk becomes massive, and one day the two meet, and then people are like, what? Wait a second. The Positivity Show, the Real Talk Show?
So, yeah. So go check him out, guys. Check out Wayne. Check them all out, guys. You know, I'll be over here visiting with Mark, and I'm going to go over to Wayne's for a little while here in a minute, too. So, yeah. That's where I will be. I hope you guys follow. So, anything happens space weather-wise, guys, I'll keep you updated. So, God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink